Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Market Psychology 101, where we try to find value when there's fear in the markets and to be cautious when there's greed. Today, we are going to be taking a look at about 7 different Bitcoin mining stocks, and we are going to assess whether their current prices are in buy territory. If we have good value with those Bitcoin mining stocks. These are stocks that would be available on Robinhood, for example. Before we jump into that, let's just remind ourselves where Bitcoin is. We wicked up above 49K into the ETF. We got the sell signal. I've been going down, and I've noted before in previous videos when we get this sell signal with this indicator, and I have various indicators, but this one is a pretty good track record. We usually see about a 15% correction, which would get us down to this 618 fib around 36,000. I don't know if it's going to wick their closer, just something to consider. As far as fear and greed, CNN has us in extreme greed for the stocks, and Pie Investing, one I like more, has us in extreme greed as well. And of course, where? Because the Dow, NASDAQ, everything's in all-time high territory. As far as crypto fear and greed, we have gotten to the neutral level. We've gone down to 50. Into the ETF, we did get into extreme greed just a little bit. It's 75 or higher, but over the last 3 months, we're as low as could be. Over the last year, we're pretty neutral, but getting towards fear levels we haven't for a while. Something I've discussed before is that maybe the ETF was the mid-cycle top, and we are having a correction. During our last 4-year cycle, we had a mid-cycle top. It was 6 months from the bottom, and we had a year of accumulation before the bull run. Here we've gone up for a year, so I've wondered maybe we will have around 6 months of correction. And what do I mean by a 4-year cycle? After we had this top late 2017, it was about another 4 years to this top. And overall, it's about 4 years between the tops. Here's that mid-cycle top I was telling you about, around 6 months from the bottom. And we went sideways. Of course, had that quick correction down there. This was the COVID crash before going back up. So this took 6 months. This took a year. I'm wondering, because we took a year to get up from the bottom into the ETF, maybe we have 6 months down and then going up. I'm just wondering out loud, not saying it has to happen. I don't want to get too much in the prediction game. So let's start looking at different Bitcoin miners. And I have my list right here, so let's get into it. We're going to start with Marathon. I believe this is the largest Bitcoin mining stock available. I like to start by looking at the last year. Before we do that, something to note, this is on the weekly. We had a sell signal. And how far down have we gotten? I like to go from the top of the wicker body from where that sell signal took place. And it got down, wow, around 36%. So if I click the year, this is going to put us on the daily. Of course, we had a strong sell signal up there. We've got under the 0.5 on the fib. And yes, we seem to settle underneath that 0.5. I do wonder, maybe let's change this fib to here because this stuff's about to go away. I do wonder where it changes. Yeah, you can see when I move the fib to this point, it's at the 618. Here, it seems to be honoring, yeah, it's at the 618 there. So I guess we can go there. So let me get rid of this. If we take a look at the last year and just move forward a little bit, you could say that maybe this is the fib that we are honoring right now. Went to the top, retraced over 50% from the top. My God, let's measure that out. Yeah, 53%. So I like Marathon. I might consider buying some Marathon Bitcoin mining stock at this level. Now, that's not to say it can't go lower. We have all these different factors, people talking about the yield curve is starting to uninvert on the 30-year, 2-year, recession concerns, blah, blah, blah. Maybe we're going into a little bit of a correction phase. Guys, we were up here for about a month or so, and look how quick we've corrected. I do think maybe it could get down here to the 12 level, but if you threw a little bit at this and you're just going to wait this out until the top of the next bull run 4-year cycle. Should that happen, then maybe these prices aren't the worst. Let's move on to Riot. I believe the second biggest Bitcoin mining stock. We're going to zoom out to the last year. Okay, maybe I'll change that fib now because time is passing along, and see where we are at as of now. Maybe I'm just curious where the fib winds up. Yeah, it seems to still be honoring it from back there more than here. Does it not? I mean, when we have it here, you can see this stuff right here. You can see how it's resting on the 786, but when we have it here, it seems that the price seems to be reflecting that more. So I'll keep it there for now. So we're at the 618, and man, how low has this gone just over this last movement? Try to get this as close as I can. So we've gone down, yeah, close to 50%. I like Riot as a Bitcoin mining stock. When I look at this, let's zoom out to see. Yep, we did have that weekly sell signal. I do think that we could be possibly bottoming. When I look at this, I do think maybe we could go under the 618. You see how we bottomed here? Now, there's nothing to guarantee that. So, yeah, right here, I mean, whether we got down to $8 or at 10, if you're taking a long-term approach, which I do encourage people to do to be safer, I don't think Riot is at the worst level here. Let's move on to the next one. Clean Spark Inc. And yeah, this one, again, this is on the weekly that we got a sell signal, and let's measure that out. About a 43% move down. Now you can see overall we have been making higher highs, higher lows. Right now it's wicking on the 20 MA on this indicator, so maybe it's just going to, oh boy, maybe it's just going to bounce down here. We did get through it a couple times, so if we went under a little bit, yeah, $5, that might be a great time to buy. If I zoom way out, this thing, I mean, you can look all the way over to the left. It's been as high as 50. And you can see it. Let's draw a trend line right here. You can see that we've been making this ascending line right here. I was looking to see if maybe this would be better connected. So some, you know, trend lines, they're kind of useless. Sometimes they're useful because you might see things repeating. So if we did get below that, I would look for this trend line. If we got below that, I'd look for that trend line. Let's draw a quick fib, and we will go from the last year. See, the last year, it's almost going away. I want to see, okay, we can take it from there, but I do want to see if the fib is honoring more. Yeah, maybe it's honoring the lows more back here. Okay. I just like to see where is it bouncing off of more. So from the top, we got under the 618, and we seem to be coming back up to it. So Clean Spark, hey, if you like it, you've done your research, maybe worth a shot. Over the last year, something else you might notice is on the RSI, when we tag the daily, we tend to go back up. And this doesn't always have to line up, but maybe we're going to tag this and go back up. Let's take a look at the next one, CIFR. CIFR mining. CIFR mining. Let's zoom out a little bit first. Yep, we had a weekly sell signal. I think a lot of these are going to. I'm just curious if most of them have had 50%. Yeah, again, around 50% down. If we go to the last year, then you'll see that we've just been chopping around here. And let's draw a fib. I'm going to move forward a little bit, because it seems that now we've worked our way above into this range. Okay. You know what? I know these are lower, obviously, but look how low we wicked. I am wondering if we are going from the bottom of there to here. And again, guys, you can just play around with this stuff and see how it lines up, see what makes more sense. Okay, actually, if we truly go back here and not try to move the goalpost, cheat the system. To me, this makes the most sense. We are on the 786. Look how many times we've been bouncing off that. Look at the RSI, the relative strength index. CIFR mining. It wicked down to here. It's back up to here. Is this worth a buy? I mean, if you believe in this stuff long term, who knows? It possibly could be a great time to buy. On the weekly, we've gone under the 50. This is when we were very bearish, and this was the bottom over here for Bitcoin, right in here. So I don't believe we would get back down to these levels unless we got back down to the 20,000 level around there. But even if we got down to somewhere like, I don't know, 27K, then maybe we would see a $1.30 at the worst. Yeah, I think some of these, I could make the argument, are in pretty decent buy territories as far as the indicators. Now, we haven't seen a buy indicator flip. Let's flip this to the weekly. I do like my weekly buy indicators more, and it does mean you're not going to time the true bottom. Look, you could have bought down here, but again, if you wait for confirmation, you do buy it over here at this 220 level, and you could have wrote it up. It doubled your money. You could have bought it here at 250 and doubled your money. Here, we did a little bit of chop. Here, let's say you bought it around $3. Okay, maybe not as much profit. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't think, as far as the fibs and the trend and the trend lines and the former stuff, that these are in the worst places to buy. Terra Wolf. Let's take a look at this. So, yeah, we had a weekly sell signal. Is this around 50% again? Yep. And if we go for the last year, kind of around the middle, let's draw a fib. We will go from the true low of the last year to the true high. See what's going on. This makes sense. Again, I'm just going to play with this fib a little bit and see. That one makes a bit of sense too, though. I'm looking at where the price is now, way on the right. And to be honest, this one kind of makes more sense to me. And we are about to escape this region in not too long. Let's make sure this fib is accurate as can be. A little bit of red underneath it. Sorry, I know this is like watching your parents use a computer. So what is the fib showing us? That we almost went up to the 236. We came down to the 618, tested the 0.5, came back down underneath the 786, went back up. To me, this looks way more bearish. I would expect that for Terra Wolf, we might get back down to this 90 cent to $1 level. Not that it has to. Okay, maybe we are shooting upwards and we're forming a macro wedge channel here. Let me just draw that out because my mouse isn't doing the best. Maybe we are doing something like this. Okay, who knows? But yeah, I don't love what this chart looks like, especially as you see with most of the wick above it. And yes, this is a green candle, and we do have a buy in the daily. I do wonder what's going to happen here. So if we went to the weekly, oh, sorry, my God. If we went to the weekly, then maybe we wait another week or two to confirm that it is going back up. But again, are we just coiling in here and getting ready to blast off? Who knows? Wolf, we have two more. These ones are much lower cap than the other ones. Bit digital. So, yeah, this one again. A lot of these charts look the same. 42%, so not as bad. If we go to the last year, okay, it's gotten down. It's getting close to this accumulation range in here. I will draw a fib just from this low area and see what it looks like. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We slowly climbed up here, came back down, and as we came up, yeah, we kind of hung around the 0.5 briefly, but shot way down. And now we seem to be somewhat hanging around the 786. To me, this looks more obviously bearish, but I do wonder if they get down to this 2 level. Now, again, if you're taking the long-term investor approach, you can be patient. You can dollar cost average over a few months. Maybe you put it, let's just say hundreds of dollars. Maybe you put in, you like this stock and you're putting in 100 now. If it does go lower, then you can put in 200, 300 if it gets to this level. So again, my rules for investing in stocks: make sure it's a stock you like, make sure it is a stock you use. And I know Bitcoin mining might not be something you use. And if that's the case and you really like the stock, well, make sure you're doing your research and making a smart investment. The last one we're going to take a look at is Core ZQ. Oh my God. Core Z. Core Z. And that is not the one. You know what? Man, did I get this wrong? Did I write down this one wrong? Sorry, give me 1 second here. Bitcoin. I'm putting this in on my phone. Mining stock. Core Z. Okay, Core ZQ. It is Core ZQ. Okay, where is it? Core ZQ not found in stocks. So I don't know. Maybe something happened with Core ZQ. I don't know why it's not showing up. Was it delisted? I mean, that shows you, yeah, don't buy into this stock. It got flipping delisted. Bitcoin miner, Core Scientific. It's Core. Okay. But we looked at Scientific. Got to go back to stocks here. Okay. Core Z, Core ZW, Core ZZ. Yeah, all these are look at the same. All right, ignore this. I apologize. I wrote down the different tickers for the different Bitcoin miners. I guess that one I wouldn't even mess with it. So I know we talked about Bitcoin briefly before. What are some places it could go and could rest? Could Bitcoin miners go lower? I believe they could. Me personally, I don't think this is a bad time to dollar cost average after we got under the macro 0.5. Let me zoom out and show you why. If you haven't been to my channel before, I talked about how after the last Bitcoin high, when we had that mid-cycle top, anytime we were under the 0.5 fib was a great time to dollar cost average. Under the 618, amazing time. Yes, we got under here briefly, so if that happens, that's YOLO ape-in time. If you believe and like Bitcoin or any altcoins. Again, this took 6 months. This took a year. I made that comparison here. Now, something to consider is each 4-year cycle, crypto becomes a little less volatile. The gains aren't as big as before. So we got under the 0.5. And I am wondering if maybe we'll get close, wick to the 786 and bounce in here for about 6 months. Maybe. So just something to keep an eye out for. When we've gotten this weekly sell signal, usually it's about a 15% correction. Funny enough, it's lining up with the 20 moving average. And yeah, we'll see what it does there. If it gets under this 618 level, I will be looking hard, very hard at some alts. Doesn't mean it has to get there. Doesn't mean this has to play out to a 15% drop like it has 95% of the time before. So this would be a time, I would say, for Bitcoin miners to do your research. And if you find one you like, maybe consider it. Anyways, I'm going to close the video there. Guys, none of this financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I am certified. I have a lot of work, knowledge, experience in the field of psychology. I've applied that to investing, and having that contrarian reverse psychological view on the markets has helped me a lot, because when the markets dip and people are talking about how horrible things are, that's when you should be excited and looking for buying opportunities. A lot of people have been dumping on Bitcoin and crypto lately. So that is a time you should be getting more excited. Now, we aren't in total fear yet. If we get under 40, you start getting very serious, especially 30. That might be very rare times to look at stuff. Again, we're not taking any possible black swan events recessions, great financial crisis, things into mind here because those are anomalies. We're just taking average markets, average halving years, average election year cycle without any black swan craziness. If things just were to play out on average like they do in this range, might not be the best time to dollar cost average. So hope you all are doing well. Hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to like and comment below. Is there any crypto or stock that you would like for me to take a look at, or any concepts for investing you would like for me to talk more about? Anyways, take care. See you later. Bye-bye.